live.
Just make sure your phones are turned off. You don't want to be that person that has their phone on and that I make fun of.
Yeah. Especially if you're the one talking on stage. It's not happening yet. I'm smiling ear to ear.
I feel like it goes like this.
You just give me the countdown, eh? Usually I have like background music.
I know I should have.
It's okay.
Thought of that.
It's actually good to cue crowds. You turn down the music, everyone goes out.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh. Okay, so have you? So this is the front.
Are you live right now?
Are students still out there right now, or are students still out?
I think that is. I don't know too. So maybe come through that way.
Where do I sit?
Nathan.
Are the cameras going?
No, that's a bright spot.
What?
Might be
I
live.
don't care. Where do I sit? Where do I sit?
You're a very smart guy. Hello. Hello, bonjour, Ndeyu Willawalsum. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to the PCS Grad of 2021 virtual style. It's really great that we get to do this in such a way, and guess what? We're global, so anybody can watch us around the world. Before we begin, I would like to acknowledge that this graduation ceremony is being held on the unceded territory of the Tsimshian people. Mr. Ben Spencer will be welcoming us to the territory in a bit. Without a doubt, this has been one of the most challenging years in education that I've ever had in my career. There are many students who should be up here, but due to the challenges of the pandemic, they won't be walking up today. Prince Rupert was a pandemic anomaly in BC and Canada and around the world up until January 2021. Then our community was hit hard by COVID-19. Yet our community was luckier than most because there was a vaccine already being distributed, and our community became an example of how effective a vaccine can be. Despite our province turning the corner in this pandemic, and a brighter future on the horizon, our community, our province, our country, and our world has suffered great losses this year from both the virus and the indirect effects of the virus, such as mental health, suicide, and overdoses. In respect and remembrance of all those we have lost, let's take a moment of silence to remember all of them. While the collateral damage of the pandemic has been great, the students who you are about to see have faced the challenges of the pandemic with resolute vision of their future and progress. They overcame their fears and realized that through adversity comes strength. It is easy to look at the world with a bleak outlook, but for my part, when I see these grads and all of my students, I become incredibly optimistic. Our youths are accomplishing amazing feats every day, and they will guide us into the brighter future than we now live. Welcome, everyone, to this bright future. Before I hand it over to the Master of Ceremonies, Miss Alana Rice, I would like to give a few words of thanks. Thank you to all the wonderful speakers who sent in videos. Thank you to Mr. Spencer, who's going to be welcoming us to the territory. Thank you to all of the PCS staff, without whom these students would not get the learning opportunities that they do. Thank you to all the families out there for their hard work in getting their grads to where they are today. Thank you to all the grads for keeping me on my toes and making my life interesting. A special thanks to Christopher Thompson, who is the wizard behind the live streaming. He's done a really great job. He's really set up a number of cameras. It's going to be a really fun show for you guys, so thank you. Thank you for connecting the families and friends. Special thanks to Margaret Wesley for donating the PCS Grad masks. You'll see that they'll have some grad masks on. And also a special thank you to Rosa Watson for providing a decorator for this wonderful stage, and also helping out with a photographer. It was a very generous gift. With that, I will hand it over to the amazing and always funny Miss Alana Rice.
Thank you. Funny. Or as, my partner would say, funny looking. Okay. All right. So welcome to the Pacific Coast ceremony for the students obtaining their adult graduation. As Mr. Jans just said, this is being filmed before a live studio audience. Woohoo! Our audience being our PCS cohort. Thank you for being here and laughing at my hilarious jokes that are going to come up. See? There you go. Hilarious! Okay. First of all, we want to welcome you and thank all of you that are watching this through the magic of the internet. It is really strange to be watching your student from a distance and through a screen as they receive this acknowledgement of their achievement. It's even more strange to be talking to a camera as opposed to a group of people. We want to thank you for the patience and understanding that is required of all of you as we continue to navigate this global pandemic. On that note, I don't know about all of you, but I am really tired of phrases such as because of COVID and we are in a pandemic and once things return to normal. I am not sure if I can even remember what normal is. Whatever happens after this, I think we'll all be definitely changed. I have to admit, these young adults, though, have helped things feel a bit normal, at least for me and my colleagues. The fact that they continue to act as normal teenagers, for the most part, have been a normalizing factor during this entire pandemic. It is normally at this part of the ceremony that I remind everyone to stay clear of the aisles, turn off their phone ringers, and refrain from using flash photography. But considering our high-tech way of doing the ceremony this year, I do not have to provide you with these warnings. Woohoo! Feel free to take as many flash photos as you wish. Keep your ringers on as loud as you want. And dance in any aisle that you see. All right? So knock yourselves out. So before Up first, we have the principal's address to the students. But I have my joke. Why did the M&M want to graduate? Because he wanted to be a smarty. Okay, so here now is Mr. Jan's back for the principal's address.
Thank you very much. As I said, it was a very, very challenging year, this whole year. But one thing that I've always been impressed with is the resilience of PCS students, and really all youth. And going forward, when I look at sort of these challenges of, a lot of these, it was just, especially when January hit, it was such a tough time for everyone, and into February. And just watching everyone overcome that and doing work at home or doing it online or however we could help them and however they wanted to be helped, really created a wonderful sense of, as Ms. Rice was saying, normalcy in sort of this crazy world that we're in, right? Going forward, I just really want these students to know that PCS is always here to support them in whatever endeavors they're going forward in. I've always been clear that, once you're a PCS student or a PCS grad, you're always a grad, and we'll help you out whenever you need it. So with that, I will send it back over to Ms. Rice.
Wow, that was awesome. All right. So before I bring Mr. Spencer up here, I have another joke. Of course I do. What's brown and sticky? A stick. That one's a good one. Okay, now for our acknowledgement of and welcome to the Tsimshian territory, we have the wonderful and kind Mr. Ben Spencer Sr.
Weisem. En mevrouw die Julie zegt, ga niet neuzen. Mr. Spencer die waaien. Lag skiek die ptero. Lag klein die wil waardko. Met een geen die wil joggen. Als ik zich oordoe, dacht hem die hoks goed ik was hem. Zo mas. Nee, kalk ze wel. Zo laat. Ze met een gachgesem. Ga niet neuzen. En ik ga die tel van eigen door de wat ze gaat get. Dat is zag wat ze gaat get. De beter span dat was hem. Ga niet neuzen. Ga niet lopen dat ze wat zo laag zeg wat. Pacific Coast School. En dan niet eens achter dat was hem. De gelamd oors de ko jobs hem. Kalk ze wel hem. Dan wil kalk ze achtjes. Niet waar die is oud en merkt dat was hem. Als ik ze hoorde, ga niet zo lijms. Nee, kalk ze achtjes. At time going. Ladies and gentlemen, and all the grads and all the students here, all the young people, I am very proud to be standing here again to once again see everything that you've accomplished through the years where you're just getting through your first chapter. And on behalf of the Wapsagat Get and the Indian Education Council, and also our Tsimshian Language Authority Group. Without them, we wouldn't have all this teaching that we do have, and we also thank the staff of Wapsagat Get for coming by and calling whenever that schools need them. And it's so important to our children and all the children that want to learn about First Nations studies. It's there, and I appreciate the school district for allowing this to happen within the school. So with that, to the young people, on behalf of Wapsagat Get, the Indian Education or Indigenous Education Council, they give you a big congratulations, and all the staff of Wapsagat Get for coming this far and knowing that you can reach your goal in any way, shape, or form. I also like to say that I don't like to talk about the pandemic, but we are getting through it all together. And this is what we like to see. And you always hear, be kind, be safe, and enjoy yourself, really, because without that, you got to be cautious for yourself and then with the elders around, because they are the ones that help you get through to this part here. So you do have a lot of support, and I envy all the grandparents, parents, aunts, and uncles that have allowed you to come this far. And with that, I'd like to say to the staff of the Pacific Coast School, a job well done. And a job well done to the graduates once they come in. I'd like to take my hat off to them and congratulate them myself too. So thank you very much.
Thank you for the welcome and those really kind and wise words. Now it is time for the processional. So I guess I take this off.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll move this off to the side. There we go.
Don't give up, it's a little complicated. All tied up, no more love, and I'd hate to see you waiting. Had to have hopes on the limit, shooting for the stars when I couldn't make a killing. Didn't have a time, but I always had a vision, always had hopes.
Don't you know about the bird? Well, Peter's gonna tell you about the bird. Well, a bird, well, a bird, surfing.
Oh my God, Peter, are you all right?
I was waiting for my graduation, growing impatient. What I didn't know was this grown up world was just cool and a blown up world. They still got some, they still draw the extra problems. There's a right and there's a wrong, and still people that I think will love me till I'm gone. Low-key makes the day screaming my songs as we go on. We remember all the times we spent together.
You might think it's goofy, but the man in the moon is a newbie. He's sailing on the glory, away in the golden dory. Codfish stand from Newfoundland.